The father of 6 was murdered this week in a Garner home on Kentucky Drive.
I've been crying since Monday. I haven't gotten any sleep. Right now, I think I'm just exhausted. I feel numb at this point.
Over the weekend, while Antoine Chisholm was on vacation, he proposed to his long-term girlfriend. However, by Monday, he was found dead from a gunshot wound. Currently, 3 people have been arrested in connection with his murder, including his newly engaged fiancé. What exactly transpired to Antoine, and to what extent is his fiancé involved? Just before 2 p.m. on May 8, 2023, the Garner Police Department received a call reporting an incident at the 400 block of Kentucky Drive, located just off Benson Road. Upon arrival, the police officers heard gunshots and discovered the lifeless body of a man lying in the street. Within minutes, the police arrived at the scene and identified the deceased as a young black man. Several residents who were interviewed by the police reported hearing gunshots, but no one witnessed the actual shooting or the shooter. The victim was later identified as 34-year-old Antoine Chisholm, who resided at 410 Kentucky Drive. Investigators proceeded to the address and observed that the glass door to the apartment had been shattered. Inside the house, blood drops indicated that Antoine had been present in the apartment when he was shot, after which he fled to the lawn, where he ultimately collapsed and succumbed to his injuries. Antoine was the eldest among 7 siblings, born to Novella Chisholm and James Hairston Jr. in Skeelton, Pennsylvania. He later relocated to Garner, North Carolina, where he started a family of his own, consisting of 6 children. In fact, one of his children had even blessed him with the role of being a grandfather. Antoine's unwavering dedication was always towards his family, as every action he took aimed to provide them with a better life.
He was the oldest child, the oldest grandchild, and he loved his family. He loved his children. And he was at the height of his life right now. He was, traveling and just trying to enjoy life. I'm going to miss him so much.
He shared a fulfilling and enduring relationship with 27-year-old Patty Lachelle Bell, who had her own children that Antoine lovingly cared for. Together, they resided in the apartment on Kentucky Drive, and May 4th, 2023, marked their 5-year anniversary since they began dating. The weekend prior to his murder, Antoine and Patty had taken a vacation to Puerto Rico during the Cinco de Mayo weekend. It was during this trip that Antoine proposed to Patty, and she happily accepted, signifying their readiness to embark on a shared life. The senselessness of Antoine's death left everyone baffled. "Please wake up," Patty pleaded in a heartfelt post on her Facebook page. The shock deepened when, merely 2 days later, the police made 2 arrests in connection with the murder case. Antoine's new fiancé, 27-year-old Patty Lachelle Bell, and a 30-year-old man named Howard Lee Covington Jr. were charged with his murder. The news sent shockwaves through the entire family, leaving them with more questions than answers. Why would Patty harm her own fiancé? And who exactly was Howard Covington?
Like any normal relationship, they had their issues, but I never thought that in a million years it would ever lead to something like this.
However, the perplexity grew even further when several days later, the police made a 3rd arrest. Jonte Bell, a relative of Patty's, was apprehended while attempting to dispose of the firearm used by Howard Covington to kill Antoine by discarding it in a trash compactor. Jonte Bell has been charged with being an accessory after the fact to the murder. Although the police have not disclosed the motive behind the shooting, there is widespread speculation that Patty was engaged in a relationship with Howard and conspired with him to eliminate Antoine permanently. The case is currently pending, but all 3 individuals have been denied bail.
Allegheny County Police say McKeesport officers were called at the 600 block of Evans Avenue around 9 o'clock for a shooting in an apartment.
Allegheny County homicide detectives are looking for a woman who took off from an apartment moments before police found a man's body inside.
When Dante Glover's family members tried to reach him on Sunday, April 30th, They found out that his phone number had been turned off. Days later, he is found dead in his girlfriend's apartment. Where is she? Did she do anything to Dante? On the night of May 1st, 2023, the Allegheny County Police received a call regarding a shooting at an apartment in the 600 block of Evans Avenue in McKeesport. Upon arrival, the officers discovered the lifeless body of an unidentified man on the floor inside the apartment. No wallet or ID was found on the body.
I normally talk to my son on Saturday. He'll call me back. He didn't call back. Sunday he didn't. I said, well, Dad, my son ain't called me back. He didn't call me back. So I called him up. I'm not getting no response. So I'm calling his sister, his cousin. I'm calling different people. Everybody's calling him up. Now I'm being suspicious because now my son is missing.
The apartment belonged to Lindsay Schnell Jackson, a 37-year-old woman, but she was not present. Neighbors informed the investigators that they had witnessed her fleeing the apartment shortly before their arrival. Upon discovering that Lindsay worked as an exotic dancer at a strip club in Pennsylvania, the investigators decided to visit the establishment and speak with her. They aimed to inquire about the deceased person found in her apartment, his identity, and the reasons behind her sudden departure. Unfortunately, the stripper was not present at the strip club. Consequently, the investigators had to depend on the medical examiner's office to determine the identity of the victim. His name was confirmed as Dante Lee Glover, who had previously resided in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania, before eventually settling in Pittsburgh. The 36-year-old held a position at Carnegie Mellon University in Oakland while also running a trucking company that provided deliveries throughout Pittsburgh. Dante was last seen at 10:15 p.m. on April 28th, leaving his residence in East McKeesport to go to work at Carnegie Mellon University, where Lindsay also worked. Upon examining his call records, the police discovered that the last communication involving Glover occurred around 9:30 p.m. on April 29th. Subsequently, his cell phone had been turned off. Thus, the question arose, what had transpired between the morning of April 29th and the night of May 1st, and who possessed his phone and wallet? A family member of Dante provides a contrasting account of what occurred, deviating significantly from the evidence presented. According to this family member, Glover was not killed on May 1st, but rather days earlier, precisely on Friday, April 28th, which happened to be Lindsay's birthday, and she had a large birthday party. As per the family member's account, Lindsay had murdered Glover and then proceeded to attend her birthday celebration. Upon returning, she found herself at a loss regarding what to do with Dante's body, leaving it in her apartment until its discovery on Monday. This account of events could potentially be accurate, as the official time of Dante's death has not been disclosed by the authorities. Moreover, the cause of his demise remains unknown. The sole individual capable of providing an exact explanation of what transpired on that fateful night and the reasons behind it is currently evading capture.